is there a maximum allowed heart rate? Is it normally given by the cardiologist for patients with ARVC? It's not something that the person who's asking the question, it's ever been shared with them. So just wondering if they should ask.
It can vary from patient to patient. Normally, as we were touching on there with Emma, sometimes in your diagnostic workup, they might do some treadmill testing. It varies from patient to patient and the cardiologist you're working with, what they actually do. So sometimes the exercise limitations might be determined from a treadmill test that you may or may not have engaged in. Um, Other times is what we spoke about previously, is sometimes there is a lack of research, particularly around ARVC or arrhythmogenic cardiomyopathy. So sometimes you might be on the earlier stages of your diagnosis. So until we know more about it, let's keep the exercise light, and therefore keeping it light, that may warrant a certain heart rate restriction. And that can vary from person to person and their fitness levels. So my patient, my case study, he was given 110 beats per minute. Don't go any higher than that. I saw him 6 months or so after diagnosis. And I was working with him for a number of sessions. 3 years down the line, that might be increased. But because he was at that stage, he was still under investigations. They were being a bit more conservative with that restriction. Um, and this where sometimes the anxiety comes in as well. Is sometimes I bring up things in a presentation. They're like, "Oh, my cardiologist didn't discuss that with me," so therefore I'm now a bit more worried. So this is where it kind of, by informing you and kind of improving your education, it gives you the ability to ask these questions. If they haven't given you a restriction, it doesn't necessarily mean that they should give you restrictions, because everyone's diagnosis or condition is individualized. But ultimately, as well, if you don't have an open conversation with the consultant and say, I'm doing X, Y, Z, they may not have that conversation with you. They may just say, oh, you're doing some gentle walking. Oh, yeah, continue with that, when actually you're doing a lot more than that. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I think
Sorry.
it's a
Thank you.
good
That's
question to
brilliant.
ask, isn't it? If you're in doubt about how much you're doing, then I would ask the question.